AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Goodwood and then Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
You so. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. And oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Got to pace myself.
It's hump day.
Gotta save the voice.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
What's left of it?
Hump day.
Frank Wilson.
It's hump day.
Going to Ole Miss.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's a bummer, man.
Hump day.
It's a bummer.
It's hump day.
But I think LSU is going to be fine.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Talked about that in hour 1.
Hump day.
Colin Hurley gone.
It's hump day.
Saints have, LSU has one quarterback.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
And it's Michael Van Buren.
Hump day.
Not good.
It's hump day.
I don't think it's going to be fine.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Carius Curne hit the portal.
Hump day.
Not good.
It's hump day.
I don't think it's going to be fine.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Russ Mitchell in 12 minutes.
Hump day.
Not good.
It's hump day.
But I think it's going to be fine.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Billy Lucci was here.
Hump day.
Dan Grassa from ESPN New York talking Jets was here.
It's hump day.
Taylor Calandro was talking booze.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Yeah, we got a ton on the show today, and glad you're hanging out. We'll get cranked up here in hour number 3 because we got to get to Russ here in just a smidge. So another day brought 2 more LSU Tigers declaring their intention to enter the transfer portal. Quarterback Colin Hurley and former 5-star offensive lineman Carius Curne has also announced that he will enter the transfer portal when it opens on January the 2nd. Curne is a bummer, man, because he was a bright spot on a bad unit. I think objectively we would all look and say that the offensive line was the worst position group on this LSU team. They were 88th in the country in sacks allowed. They were 120th in the country in rushing offense. Now, you don't put all of that on the offensive line. It's the backs, it's the scheme, it's the development, it's a lot of that stuff. But this was a bad unit. And on this bad unit, Curne was kind of a little glimmer of hope. This guy who coming out of Arkansas a season ago, out of the state of Arkansas a season ago, on 3, rated him as a 5-star, the number 28 overall prospect in America. In the composite, he was a composite 4-star when you blend all the rankings together, and the number 49 overall prospect. And I can't help but remember, all throughout fall camp, Curne was working behind Tyree Adams at left tackle, and then 2 weeks before the opener against Clemson, Curne's out there taking first-team reps at right tackle. They were trying to push Weston Davis. And they could have put any number of veterans over there. They could have put Ori Williams. They could have put Bo Bordelon. They could have put different guys there, and instead they put the true freshman out there. And I think it showed the upside he's got at 6'4", 320. We've all seen the viral clips of him doing a backflip. Like, he is the giant human that is also the explosive athlete with good feet that can play out on an island in the SEC. And he kind of proved it, the first opportunity that he had to get out there. If you remember, now he played a smidge against Louisiana Tech and then really got some extensive action against Southeastern. But then the Ole Miss game rolls around and Weston Davis gets concussed in pregame warmups. Jack Pyburn hits him. He breaks his nose. He's got a concussion. He's out. And remember, you didn't have DJ Chester available. Chester got flagged for targeting in the second half against Southeastern. So Chester at that time was your sixth man. And so Curne has to spot duty, go start at right tackle on the road against top 10 Ole Miss and all that stuff. And he actually, his pass block grade was an 80. He was your highest graded offensive lineman on PFF in that game. And when the second half started and Chester was available to go in, they didn't replace Curne. They let Curne stick with it and play the entire game. And afterwards, Brian Kelly explained why.
Because what we saw in the first half, essentially, I think if there were major issues, Matt, Brad and I would have probably made a decision there to make the change. But we felt like Carius was giving us good energy. He was protecting our edge really well in the passing game. There were a couple of mistakes inside out, which we expected that was going to happen. But by and large, we felt like let's let the young guy play. And that was kind of our sense.
They compared him to Emory Jones. Look, he's going to make mistakes, but, fast, physical, aggressive, big, explosive. So you could see, that comp is great. Jones ended up being a 3-year starter here. So, that's a real, a very good rising prospect. Now, you talk to people around the program. The thing about Curne this year is he played in just 7 games. He made 5 starts, 4 at left and 3 at right as far as his games played. But he probably has a lot of maturing to do emotionally, growing up to do. And I think that we started to hear those whispers in fall camp. Look, the final Saturday before Clemson, LSU held a scrimmage and Curne didn't participate. And as I understand it, that was kind of his decision not to participate, Curne's decision not to participate in that scrimmage. So I think some of that even limited his growth and production and development there. But man, such a high ceiling for Carius Curne. And so as I look at this is the first one I would say that really, I think, hurts. Like, some of the lesser used receivers like Kylan Billiot, Jelani Watkins, you understand it. Juwan Johnson going in the portal, looking for somewhere where he can sort of establish himself and find some consistency at a position that he can grow and develop. Curne's a guy that I think would have had a really good chance to be a starter next year had he stayed. And I don't know where he lands. There's some rumblings about Austin Thomas maybe trying to get him to Ole Miss, and maybe that happens. But when I look at LSU's offensive line from this season and going into next year, the real interesting thing for me anyway is going to be, okay, you look at all these guys that played a lot on the offensive line, and you have a lot of guys that got a lot of experience, right? Just if you're looking at snap counts, Josh Thompson had the most snaps of anybody on offense. Any position, 787 snaps. That was the most of anybody on the offense. But next was Weston Davis, and then Cohen Eccles, and then Braylon Moore. And Moore could very well come back, or he could choose to go pro. But Davis, Eccles, Moore, Tyree Adams had 463 snaps. Obviously would have been more, but for the injury. Curne was at 305. Chester was at 291. Mabenga was at 244. You got snaps. You got guys, a lot of guys that played a lot of football. So you ask yourself the question, would you rather have back these guys that everyone I just mentioned was like a high 4 or 5 star guy? I mean, Weston Davis was a 5-star that everybody wanted. Cohen Eccles, you got to flip from Texas A&M. These are all very talented football players. DJ Chester, Tyree Adams, top 200, top 100 overall players in the country. And so I look at it and I go, man, did LSU miss evaluate on every one of these guys? Or was the scheme bad, the coaching bad? Like, was it sort of all of it? And so I can't help but wonder, like, what Lane Kiffin and Billy Glasscock are going to choose to do here. I don't think there's any doubt, like, you would, number one, love to have Braylon Moore back. If you could start there with Braylon Moore as your starting center, right in the middle of your offense, and he was your best offensive lineman this year, that would be huge to get Braylon Moore back. And then if you go in the portal, let's say, and you sign a guard and a tackle that have starting experience, great. Now, 3/5 of your line are locked down with not just starters, but like good, talented starting players. And then you've got everyone else I just mentioned. Adams, Eccles, Chester, Mabenga, all of them. Davis, that could compete for the other two spots, a guard and a tackle spot. And maybe between now and January 2nd, more guys enter the portal. We'll see how it happens. And maybe Braylon Moore doesn't return. But I don't know that I'm ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater with this offensive line, because I think I know you have physically gifted players that in a better scheme with better coaching could realize their potential. You marry that with some portal additions, and I think you could be good. But I don't know what Kiffin and Glasscock are going to prioritize here. Are they going to prioritize consistency and bringing back these guys that got a lot of experience? Or are they going to go look in the portal to bring in 3, 4, 5 new starters on this offensive line? That is going to be, quarterback is going to be the most important thing they address. The most interesting thing, I think, is going to be the offensive line, because you have this weird conundrum of a bunch of dudes that were super highly rated, that have all played a bunch of football, but they haven't played well. So do you believe you can coach them up to realize their physical potential, or do you have to go in the portal and remake that whole room, or does the truth lie somewhere in between? What we do know is Carius Curne is going to the portal. He won't be a part of it. And another reason why Lane Kiffin is choosing to build through the portal, because you spend all the assets, all the resources recruiting high school players like Carius Curne. You get him here after 1 year, portal. Why? When you can go in the portal and sign a guy that's played in 38 career games, that's plug and play, ready to go, and is going to be a much better player than a true freshman cutting their teeth. Again, it's a different way to do it, but it's the way Lane Kiffin is choosing to do it. And it's hard to argue with the results. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break, y'all. Come back. Russ Mitchell will be here. It's AFR.
After further review.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You've been injured in an accident. It's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, offices all over the state of Louisiana. Hey, listen, maybe you're traveling this Christmas season, and if you find yourself, unfortunately, in an accident and you're injured and it's not your fault, remember our friends at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, and they're always there 24/7. So if you want, you can log on to the website at getgordon.com. You can reach out there. There's a little chat bubble in the bottom of the website, bottom left of the website, or on the mobile site as well. And you tap the little chat bubble, and immediately you can be chatting with an associate there at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Remember, their offices are all over the state of Louisiana as well, so you never have to travel. They have an office near you, and you can find out all this, client testimonials, everything at the website, getgordon.com, getgordon.com. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. Russ Mitchell.
Kicking the tires and lighting the fires.
Russ!
Literally.
Well, I'm proud of Russ. I think Russ deserves it.
It's football!
Rusty, come on up here.
Ferris is not a state. It's a wheel.
You know, I haven't had much of a chance to talk to you man to man, Russ.
How are things out there at DBU?
I want you to stay here and take care of things, Russ.
The only way you can point up is up.
Not going in our yard, Russ. It's going in our living room.
Just like Troy.
Can't see the line, can you, Russ?
Put your foot on his throat and choke him out.
Take it, Russ.
Where is Ferris State?
Moose squeezed a new one in there.
Where is Ferris State?
It's not a state. It's a wheel.
Where is Ferris State?
I got no idea. Kansas?
Michigan.
Michigan.
That's so
okay.
good.
Right.
I don't care. Not a lick. How are you?
Kicking tires, lighting fires, baby.
I love to hear that. Nice jacket, by the way. Show the people.
Thank you.
Look at that. National championship officially licensed merch there from LSU Clemson. A game you didn't attend because you're a coward and you believe in stupid jinxes, which there's no way that team could have played the Kansas City Chiefs and they were going to beat them by 50. You would have nothing to do with it.
Yes, but you collected some confetti for me, so thank you.
I did. Do you know how much of a loser I felt like? Here I am, credentialed working media. I had to go over when the game ends, trophy, celebration. I had to stealthily meander to the LSU bench, and I put my backpack on the ground, and I sat on the bench. And when I thought no one was looking, I just hurriedly grabbed handfuls of confetti and threw it into my backpack so I could mail it to you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have hidden that. I would have just reached down on the middle of the field and grabbed it. I don't care.
That is a difference between
I don't
you
care.
and
I mean, I don't care at all. I'm one of the few people that actually cheers in the press box, but I cheer for both teams, so that sort of makes it okay. I cheer for good plays.
No, that's not okay. That's a good way to
I don't care.
That's a good way to get ejected from the press box.
I've never been ejected.
Pat Forty had Bobby Hebert thrown out of the press box in the 2012 LSU-Alabama game for cheering.
I like Pat. I'm a friend of Pat. But
I don't like Pat at all. I think Pat's a jerk. And if I saw him right now, I'd probably punch him in the face. Huh? What was that?
Nothing. I was talking about somebody I don't like, but let's change the subject.
All right. Fernando Mendoza won the Heisman. You can reveal your ballot now. So how'd you do it?
I can. I had Pavia 1, Mendoza 2, and Chambliss 3.
Okay. Do you think that if Chambliss had played 12 games, he would have won it?
Yes.
Why do you think Marcel Reed didn't get more attention?
I don't think he's that good. I mean, he's I'm sorry, I don't think he's that good. I think he's a decent quarterback, and with a couple more years, he could be, as long as he continues to improve every year. But, I mean, all of the quarterbacks had, including Chambliss, in many cases, had better statistics. He was inconsistent in whole halves repeatedly. The team was offensively slow in spurts. I didn't even consider him as a top 10 myself.
Whole halves. Is that an oxymoron? Whole halves? Yeah, how about that?
Don't just tell Moose not to add it to the up is up kills me. My daughter saved that. And when I text her, it says, every time I text her, it says the only way to point up is up. So no more adding that.
Oh, man. Okay, so why did you vote Pavia?
I thought he was played for, first of all, he played the toughest opponents. I mean, I really like Mendoza. I love what he did. I think he's a great quarterback, and I think there's a good chance he'll be good at the NFL. But going into before that last weekend, right? And I voted as soon as the ballots opened on Friday night. And he'd played one defense, Oregon, one defense. And, it's interesting because people were talking, everyone was saying his Ohio State performance was, average 15 of 23 for 222 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But they played Oregon. I was like, dude, did you watch the game? It was a convincing win, but he was the exact same stat line, 20 of 30, 215 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Everybody else Indiana played was bupkis.
So why did you vote him second?
So I know they went 13-0, but if they played Alabama and at Texas, Indiana's got 2 losses.
So why did you vote him second then? Why was he even on your ballot?
Actually, it's interesting because I didn't vote Love, and I wouldn't have voted Love. I would not have voted Love in the top three. I really considered moving Chambliss over Mendoza. It's kind of shocking to me because Mendoza had a record Heisman. He was on 95% of the ballots, which I agree. I wasn't going to leave him off my top three, but I seriously considered moving Chambliss up. He had the same yards per attempt average, a better TD to interception ratio than Mendoza against significantly better competition. We're talking about Chambliss right now. The only problem is he didn't play in 2 games and didn't play full he basically missed 3 to 4 games.
So
I put Mendoza.
I don't mean to belabor the point, but I'm curious. So if we're saying Mendoza, the statistics weren't there, and he only played 1 defense, and in that game the statistics weren't good, then why was he on your ballot?
Well, the statistics were there. The total
Not
statistics
really,
were
Russ.
there.
He threw for 2,800 yards. It wasn't a really impressive statistical year for Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, I would disagree. I think that he did. I think that, obviously he doesn't have the Burrow numbers because Burrow is unique. He's a standout and shouldn't be really compared against. But, I thought that he led his team to the number 1 ranking. It was statistically shocking that it came from Indiana, a program that has never had anybody, win the Heisman or have this kind of season. So when you add all that up and you add up the breadth of his total statistics, and the fact that he led the team that beat Oregon in Autzen and Ohio State. But I still thought Pavia's season was better than Mendoza's, given the competition.
He was 25th in passing yards. That's not elite. He was looking for his passing touchdowns. He wasn't even in the top 50 in passing touchdowns.
I didn't say elite.
But isn't by no, I'm sorry. He led the country with 33 touchdowns. Forgive me. So the touchdowns were there. Forgive me. But the yards, he was 25th. So, but by nature of the fact that you win the Heisman, you're saying that this person is elite.
Well, look at the competition he was up against. Julian saying, I can't believe that they were considering. I don't even think. First of all, Julian wasn't even that critical to his team. And remember, this is not an MVP award. It's not the most valuable to your team player. It's the most outstanding player for the year. And I think Julian didn't fit that, given the scope of his team. He wasn't that important. And the fact that, he played poorly in the 2 games that he had to play. But, you could pretty much say the same thing for Diego, except for the fact that if you encompass the entire Texas game, which they only lost by 3, he still had 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And Sayan never did anything like that. And all this talk about Jeremiah Love would not have been on my top 5.
So for you, is it just a quarterback award then?
No, I don't think it should be. For me, Love wasn't on my top 5 because he only ran for 1,300 yards, 1,372. Remember, Hardy from Missouri ran for more yards than Love did this year against a tougher schedule. Ashton Genty had 2,600 yards last year. There were 10 running backs last year that had more yards than Love did this year. Cam Scatteraboo had 1,700 last year. 1,300 is not enough. If you want to say something about
Genty also had 200 more attempts last year.
Yeah, I know.
He carried the ball almost 400 times last year.
The bottom line is, in 2008, we changed how we put the ball back into play in college football. And since 2008, it's given an advantage to the offense. And since 2008, you've seen the quarterback become more and more and more important in college football. And I think that has much more to do with why we're seeing more quarterbacks end up getting this award.
Russ Mitchell's with us, College Football News on Twitter at Russ Mitchell CFB is a Heisman voter, so going over the ballot. Let's knock out a break. I want to come back and I want to talk about I want to get your thoughts on these first round games. So we'll get thumbnail previews and picks on each of these first round games, which will start on Friday with the SEC on SEC matchup, the rematch with Oklahoma and Alabama. We'll get to that with Russ as we continue here on AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery, 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area, Siega near Airline, LA 16 in Dedham, Mid-City on Don Moore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. 4 locations, endless gift possibilities. If you have not yet finished your Christmas shopping and there's someone on your list that you're going, I don't know what to get them, Clegg's has something, even if it's a Clegg's gift card, which is super popular. How about you think outside the box? Citrus trees are a great option. You can plant a citrus tree at your home, your camp, whatever it may be. And that is something that will literally bear fruit and bring joy and enjoyment to your family for generations. How cool is that? Also, bird feeders, hummingbird feeders, tuned wind chimes, which are a beautiful accent piece for anybody's outdoor space. You got to check them out at any of the 4 Clegg's Nursery locations. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Rolling along here in hour number 3. Russ Mitchell, good enough to hang out with us. Spent the first segment talking Heisman. Russ revealed his vote as a longtime Heisman voter. Now we turn the page to the college football playoff. First round gets underway Friday. And the first game is SEC on SEC, a rematch. This time, though, in Norman. It's Oklahoma hosting Alabama. Do you think this one looks any different than the first one we saw about a month ago?
Yeah, it's being played in Norman.
Yeah.
That's about it. Oh, and also Jam Miller's banged up.
I think he's on the availability report questionable, but it sounds like he's going to give it a go, huh?
Yeah, I mean, there's a big difference between available and being able to push the pile. And I look, Alabama at home in November managed, what was it, like 80 rushing yards with an average of 2.4. So this is a great front seven from Oklahoma. It's not, I didn't misstate that. They averaged 2.4 yards a carry. Yeah. I mean, if they can't do better on the road in Norman, I've been to that stadium 4 or 5 times. You know, it's no Auburn, but if we're going to just see another Georgia, and I'm worried about that. Alabama's favored in this game, right?
Yeah, I think it's like a 1.5. It's a virtual pick. It's moved a little bit, but yeah, it's right around a point. Yep.
I think if you're Alabama, what all season long their defense has feasted or basically done well in post-snap movement. So creepers, simulated pressure, late rotations, all of that sort of thing to put pressure on quarterbacks to be able to read the defense, right? If they do well with that and they make Mateer have to throw the ball away, and we saw a lot of that in the game in Alabama, then they can stay in it. But if they're averaging, 2 yards a carry, it's going to be a lot. It's half the playbook if that happens, and I think it will. I don't think that there's no reason to think they're going to run any better. 4 weeks later or 3 weeks later, how long has it been? 4 weeks. I don't expect them to, and I like Oklahoma. Take the points.
So, by the way, the line is completely flipped. It opened Bama 1.5. It has moved now to Oklahoma 1.5. So it has moved 3 points since it opened. Money coming in on Oklahoma. I wonder if the availability report yesterday with Miller and then Josh Cuevas, who's questionable in this ball game as well, if that's impacting people's perception of what may happen in this game.
I was talking to some people before the debacle against Georgia, and they were not very optimistic. These are people on Alabama staff that were not very optimistic about this game, about him being able to play in the first round of the playoff. So I'll believe it when I see it.
All right.
I'll believe it when I see it.
That'd be a big loss for Bama if Cuevas isn't out there. He's a big part of their offense. Let's go to Saturday morning. The other one of the other obviously SEC teams involved is Texas A&M. They're going to host Miami. Aggies are a 3.5-point favorite in this game, Russ. But man, I can't shake what we saw the first half against South Carolina and then in that game against Texas. Is A&M maybe a little bit of fool's gold this year?
Well, A&M's defense, which is what they've hung their hat on all season, is great at getting teams off the field on third down, in large part because they lead the SEC in sacks, right? In fact, they're tied with Oklahoma, that same defense that we just talked about, in terms of being able to sack opposing quarterbacks. And that's what this game comes down to. If they're able to put pressure on Carson Beck, if they're able to put pressure on Carson Beck, live up to that standard that gets you long third downs, and that will pose. Well, the problem is that they're ninth in the conference in scoring defense, and they're not very good against the run, which we saw. They're 13th in rush defense per carry in the SEC. And we saw that in the Texas game. So if you have faith in Miami, if you think Miami will be able to run the ball on A&M, then yeah, this is going to be a very, very long morning for the Aggies.
I didn't realize A&M's run defense was that poor. Who do you think wins?
I mean, it's in Kyle Field, which, we've talked about this. There's no greater. I've been almost to every major college football stadium. They are like, it's not like LSU in terms of how loud it is, but there's like a spooky cult-like feeling in that stadium. And the only thing I've ever seen close to it was I got to watch Kansas basketball team play, where they do that rock chalk Jayhawk sort of spooky chant thing.
Yeah.
Kyle Field is a scary place to play, man. I mean, that is a weird place, and I think that'll be the difference in this game. I think it'll cause chaos for Carson.
The other two games are going to be blowouts. Ole Miss hosts Tulane. They already blew them out once this year, and then Oregon is going to roll over James Madison. They're a 3-touchdown favorite. Do you want to give a thought on Ole Miss is a 17.5-point favorite? I mean, is there anything that could go wrong for Ole Miss in this game? I mean, maybe just not having Kiffin, the distraction. I mean, is that a real thing here?
I mean, which Ole Miss team shows up? It's the one that played Washington State or the one that played Georgia and Oklahoma? So I tend to believe that even with the Kiffin distraction, the one that played Washington State was looking forward to the Georgia and the Oklahoma games. So I expect Ole Miss to be too much for Tulane in this game. I don't think Tulane has the scoring power to keep up with the Rebels, so I like Ole Miss.
Any thought on James Madison, Oregon?
The only thing, so James Madison, who we all pay so close attention to,
the Fighting
they're
Billy
well
Napiers.
coached, they're physical, they don't often beat themselves, and I can tell you that I have not watched one single James Madison game all season.
I respect the honesty so much.
I have only watched highlights in the last week, and I've been trying to jam them in. I just want to say, we were just talking about stadiums before. There are very few stadiums west of the Mississippi River that y'all need to worry about going to visit. But if you ever get the chance to go to Autzen Stadium for a conference game, or a big game, you should do it, because that stadium is the closest you're going to find west of the Mississippi that feels like an SEC stadium. It only holds 60,000 people, but it's way louder than it seems. And I can't imagine how the Dukes, that offensive line for Oregon, can run faster than some of the running backs that the Dukes have. So I see this. This is going to be ugly.
I heard. I was listening to Jimmy and Charlie's show. One of the professional handicappers was saying maybe the play is a first half play on James Madison. Maybe they come out inspired, keep it close for a half, and then Oregon does their thing in the second half. I'll probably just watch an uneventful game on Saturday night and watch Oregon just dump truck James Madison because it'll be the thing that's on TV. So we'll all watch it. But in any event, you want to pick a national champion?
My national champion. My national champion. I don't think it was LSU, and I don't want to go back and look. But
they're not going to win it,
now.
Russ.
Right now, I'm looking at how all the teams are playing, and I don't have that much faith in Indiana. I just don't. It's a good team. I think they'll win their first round, but I like Georgia. I like the way Georgia's played, and I think they're tested, and I think they're peaking as the season has progressed.
Russ Mitchell, get him on Twitter at Russ Mitchell CFB. Thank you.
Parish Construction, thank you for supporting the segment. And,
I was wondering where the hat was, but I do, by the way, have your purple and gold hat. It's in my car, purple and gold Parish hat. It will be mailed to your home. And I much, much appreciate the time.
By the way, I would listen to you and Ryan on Friday. I thought you were too hard on Ryan.
About what? For eating the ice cream during the segment?
I was wondering what the hell he was doing. What was he doing? Was he eating an ice cream?
Yeah, if you weren't like a listener brought us Italian ice, which is like ice cream, and like we're in the middle of a segment and he's just shoving ice cream in his face while we're talking. It was so distracting.
We did an onsite at Pluckers once, and I drank beer and ate wings.
I mean, I would expect nothing less from you, but I expect Ryan to be a professional at this point.
I don't care. All right.
I know you don't. All right. Thank you. We'll see you. All right. That's Russ Mitchell. It's after further review. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Interestingly enough, of course, when it's one thing Terrio does exceptionally well is when he's here and we do the reads for First South Farm Credit because he is a guy that's called. He's talked to Tim over at First South Farm Credit and explored buying land. Terrio has this grand dream of buying this giant piece of property he's got his eye on. He wants to build his dream home and live off the land and all that sort of stuff. And if that's what you want, if you want to live in the city or you work in the city but live in that rural lifestyle on a big piece of land, build your family's dream home, First South Farm Credit can make that happen. Maybe as we're moving through hunting season, like I know a lot of you hunters, if you share a lease or you hunt on someone else's property and you want your own, let this be the last hunting season where that's a problem. You can reach out to my friends at First South Farm Credit and they can start you on the process of buying your own land for your own hunting property, your own recreational property. It's First South Farm Credit. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthland.com. FirstSouthland.com. Okay, y'all, it is after further review. One segment to go here on this Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Jimmy B here for Otter Locks. There's a bowl game going on right now, as a matter of fact. This is the Cure Bowl, right, that's being played right now. It's South Florida 10-7 up on Old Dominion at halftime. And we got the Cajuns playing tonight. So the Cajuns and the Blue Hens. See if the Otters got a pick on that. We'll do it next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Not too late. I'm going to keep reminding you as we count down to Christmas. It's not too late. It's not too late to make the decision to give your family the best gift ever. Go Clark Griswold on them and put in a pool. Or maybe an outdoor kitchen. And Duplessis Builders can make that happen. Go to duplessisbuilders.net. Like, I'll show you. If nothing else, just do this so you can see how cool this feature is. Do this right now. Grab your phone or go, if you're at your desktop, whatever, have your tablet. Go to duplessisbuilders.net just so you can see this thing that I talk about all the time, which is such a cool function. Duplessisbuilders.net. There's a pick your pool tab. You do the same thing for the outdoor kitchens. But pick your pool. You'll see 11 designs. Just pick the design that you like the best. Click on one of them. Paul, just pick one. Just click one. Click one of them. And then you'll see you can go through and it'll let you, with all the tabs, you can pick all of your finishes right there on the website. Boom. You can even put down a deposit, pay for it right away. DuplessisBuilders.net.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on this Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Again, HRT, peptides, so many different options over at Goodwood, unique physique and unique aesthetics and wellness. All right there on Drusilla in Baton Rouge or online at yourgoodwood.com. All right, let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
You Otter.
Hey, Matt, what's up, buddy?
Cruising down the home stretch here, man.
All right.
Got a win with the Knicks last night.
Yes.
Missed with Troy on football. Missed with Clemson. Was there another basketball? Oh, we missed the basketball play. That's right, because it was in game already.
Tennessee.
How did that one turn out?
Tennessee blew them out.
Atta babe. So a 2-2 night.
Yeah. 2-2. Yes.
All right.
2. We added the bowl game. We were 2-1 tonight, but we had the bowl game last night.
All right. Couple of bowl games tonight. Some college basketball
anyway,
as well. What we like?
Down 10-7 at half at the Cure Bowl right now with Old Dominion. I think we're in good shape.
You think it's worth taking it in game here? ODU's plus 2.5, right?
Where our position is, and would suggest, I wouldn't mind getting on it some more right now. What's the current line? Probably 4. Probably the original line.
Old Dominion plus 2.5. Can you not hear me?
Live line.
Can you not hear me? Otter, can you hear me? I don't think he can hear me. I don't know. He can't hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh,
now.
there you go. Okay. So, Old Dominion right now is plus 2.5 in game.
Yeah, God, they're being cheeky, huh? I mean,
no go.
Okay. No. I thought it would be over at 3. Anyway, I won't try and figure it out. Let's go to the night game, the bowl game with ULL. ULL making their 6th straight bowl game. They had to win their last 4 to become bowl eligible. They won all 4 of them by 1 score. Walker Howard got hurt early. Daniel Beal was kind of rushed in there for a little bit. He was replaced, and then it seems like they kind of got it figured out finally. And so there's definitely an edge for experienced coaches. With the more experienced coaches in these bowl matchups here, there's definitely the advantage there because Delaware first year in the FBS. Obviously, they're bowl eligible for their first bowl game. Now, there were 1AA power back in the day, but they'll be excited. This one, pretty much everybody is playing on both teams, but I like the experience with the coaching staff. I like that they have a little bit of hunger here, losing their last 3 bowl games. We're going to take the Cajuns, and we like the line movement right now. Look at that, maybe a pick 'em at some places now.
DraftKings still has it at 1.5, but it's at plus 100.
But it's going to go down. It's going down.
Okay.
It's going, So wait a little bit. That's probably going to go down to 1 or even pick. There's some picks out there right now. Speaking of line movements, UCLA at home against Arizona State. Arizona State, their points spread value got boosted a little bit, actually inflated a little bit because they won the Maui Classic. Normally, Maui Classic is the most prestigious pre-conference tournament in college basketball, but it was not even close to the field that they normally have. A lot of other tournaments, including the Players Era Tournament in Las Vegas, took the bulk of the quality teams for the holiday season. So Arizona State going on the road, they were lucky to escape against Santa Clara in Las Vegas this past weekend. So Bobby Hurley got tossed early in that one. So we're going to take UCLA minus 9.5, start to see some 10s. So get it at 9.5 before it goes to 10.
All right, UCLA minus 9.5 on the hardwood, and we're looking at the Cajuns tonight. But wait for that line to see if it goes down to 1 or a pick. Where are you tomorrow, Thursday?
We're at Country Club, Louisiana. No, it's a little bit later. We are going to be at the original Walk-Ons on Burbank.
Well, I will look for you at the Guaranteed Christmas Party tomorrow night. But have a great show tomorrow. Good luck tonight. Thank you, Otter.
Ho, ho, Hanny.
Get out of here. It's after further review. It was actually at Our Lady of the Lake Christmas party last night at Supper Club. I gotta love going to Supper Club. I mean, I know I say it all the time, but got my plate of food and sat down, and they had so many of the amazing entrees available. And I made sure I got some of the sea bass. I've told you so many times, the sea bass is incredible. Sat down, took a bite. I was like, this is like the sea bass is amazing. And everyone at the table was like, get as much of the sea bass as you can. I'm telling you, even if you love steak, you're gonna have the best dining experience. But even if you don't love steak, I promise you, go to Supper Club, you're gonna love it. It's amazing. Get the sea bass, or my favorite, the veal parm. Just go to Supper Club, get a reservation, go Supper Club. Had a great time there last night. SupperClubBTR.com. All right, I got to get out of here. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
Hey, we're brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor. It's Parish Restoration. They'll spray their patented non-toxic dry fog. Someone sent me a message on the text line yesterday and was like, hey, does Parish Restoration come to Alexandria? Yes, they'll go anywhere. Parishrestoration.com. And it's so easy, too, because they have their Sprinter vans, and so they've outfitted the Sprinter vans where when you open the back doors, all the hose is wrapped within the whole interior of the Sprinter van. So it's just like a pulley, right? I mean, they just take the hose and just run it all the way through your house or your building or whatever it may be, and they'll spray their patented non-toxic dry fog. It's, again, non-toxic, so safe for plants, pets, people. Totally safe. They'll spray it. It'll kill everything all the way down to the spores. As soon as the fog dissipates, boom, you're back in. Free, clear, clean, smelling, sanitized, healthy building. It's Parish Restoration. Log on to parishrestoration.com. That's parishrestoration.com.